All right, folks, we are live. And all right, let me see if I can pin comments. So I'm just gonna say for today. Okay. Can I pin a comment? Yes. Boom. Okay, just pinning. So some people before have been like, "Oh wait, who's this guest?" when they come in random, like at a random time. So now you know. And I'm just gonna be chilling in chat till more of y'all come along, and we can get this week's episode started. Oh, there we are. Hold on. Hello. Let me request for you to join. Hold on. Did that work? Hold on.
Dang, my camera's turned around. Hold on. Showing the Jolteon corner of my desk.
No problem.
Hi.
I was like, oh. Hi, how are you? Okay, so before we start,
I prefer Samantha or Sage because I do use the internet handle a lot too.
Samantha. Okay, cool. So hello everybody. We're here with Samantha, and they are the artist for Sovereign of Death. So this is very exciting. I'm so excited to finally meet the artist because, like, my first question when I was watching this,
I'm very glad you guys enjoyed it. It's very interesting to actually see it being used.
Hello everybody joining in. I'm just gonna give like a few more moments for a few people to hop on in before we just get to questions and everything like that. So if you wouldn't mind just just saying hello, introduce yourself, maybe fun fact or two, whatever you like.
I'm Samantha. I obviously clearly like doing art. I do both 2D and digital and traditional art, 2D and 3D. So I kind of just do everything because I really like it. And as mentioned before, I have a bunch of Jolteons on my desk. I got Pokemon on the brain because it's a new game. And you could probably guess my favorite one based on how many times I said it. It's very good.
I need to dive into Pokemon. I mean, I love Snorlax. Snorlax is my personal favorite. Just because
they have like a giant pillow of Snorlax, like an actual big pillow you could lay on.
I know. I kind of want one because I saw it wasn't a big one, but I went to Anime Pasadena and they had like a little. I had like a big one, but I want like really big. Like I want a 7 foot tall.
That'd be really comfy.
Monster, like that I can just face plant into. Yes. Yeah, right. Just get rid of my bed and just like get a gigantic Snorlax. Anyway, so how
we met in grad school. We both did the whole game design thing, except I was in the art track. It's a big surprise there.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. That's really cool. So that's how you get. So that's how you two met. How did you like get involved?
Yep, he just reached out to me, and I was very surprised by it. I was just like, "Oh, sure, I'll work on a project."
Like, hey, I've got something going on. Ooh.
Oh no, definitely not. Like my stuff has been more 3D oriented. Like I get freelance projects asking for me to make 3D objects occasionally. But the art's kind of like hasn't been full time yet. It's kind of like I'm trying to get it full time. So seeing this is like, oh okay, I'll take a project. This is really fun. Oh no!
Yeah, awesome.
Bouncing a phone and not having a proper thing.
Oh no!
There we go. Sorry about that.
Oh no.
Hi, Carmen. Hopefully my phone can bounce.
Hi, Carmen. Carmen's in the chat.
There we go.
So.
Oh yeah.
So that must have been really exciting, like that being like the first kind of project like that for you. So could you walk us through like what was what was that kind of like? Because I mean, I was talking to, I've been talking to some of the people that have been playing, like Mady and Martin, Money, and everybody on the show, and they've been just saying, like, did they have like a say in their characters? Like, how did the process go when it came
Nope,
to
I was talking mainly
designing the
through
characters?
Carmen.
Did you
So
talk to the
I
cast
don't know if Carmen
frequently,
was
or
showing
was it
off the
kind of like a,
designs, but basically I would sketch the
oh, okay.
idea or concept and then just kind of show them to Carmen. I think they were in varying states of finish. Like sometimes it would just be like a really rough sketch, but like this is what I have in mind, or like it would be like roughly more lined. Just kind of getting his opinion on things and getting feedback. And I had like a small summary of each character, like sort of like what their outfit would have. I believe there was previous art I was shown of the characters though, so I did kind of look off of that because like, okay, this kind of like this is really good to work off of, and I just kind of did it in my own style. But I only had like images of the
Oh, okay,
four
that's really
main. The
cool.
rest were just me.
Let me see.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, like the four main, and then like the NPCs and stuff like that. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I get that. Wow, that's really cool. Because like I was like, wait a
Hello,
minute, like
everybody.
how does it really happen? Oh, hello, everybody joining in. We're here with Samantha Mohr, and they are the artist for Sovereign of Death. So if anybody's got any questions or comments that you'd like to add, we're just going to be chatting about that, and we're going to dive into our newest episode, Parental Politics, which
It
was
certainly was.
a boatload of events that had occurred. um, so I guess branching off of the art concept, have you ever
Hilariously,
done
only
like tabletop
after I
games before?
finished
Have you ever
working on
done
these
like a
things.
D&D campaign?
Yeah, so I was working on it, like making all these designs really like I
Oh,
only
really?
knew basic characters used for this stuff, like you have elves, humans, I knew tieflings, but then like I was drawing all these varieties of things for so long, I was just like I really want to play now. And so my roommate's like, well, I could set up something. So we've been doing like a fate core thing, because it's less math heavy and more we go more story wise because my group's good with story. We're not good with math. We are very stupid when it comes to math. So we're like, all right, we'll just roll this dice, and if it says 2 pluses on it, then we know we did okay.
Okay, yeah, same here because I feel like everybody I've interviewed is on the
Yeah.
same page because you've been in groups with like D&D people that are really like, these are the rules, math. And my group was the same way. I mean, I did it in high school a little bit, but I don't even know, we rarely
Yeah.
like followed the rules. We were just kind of like rolling
Math is
and
very
having a
hard.
story because
Like I
we
wanted to
don't
do
math
it
and
before,
we can't
but
comprehend. So,
I always had trouble getting like a group together.
yeah.
Let's see.
Yeah, that's another thing that I've had
Yeah,
trouble with
Fate
too.
is
That's something
interesting
I've
because it
always
really is
wanted to
just
try
4
the fate
dice
core
and they have a
system.
plus or minus or
Ooh.
nothing on them. And so you're just kind of rolling that to see what you do. You're assuming you're proficient in the skills you've listed, and it just kind of goes up to, I think it's like a little pyramid. It goes up to 5, so you just kind of roll the dice and see where it lands compared to what you have. So it's very basic. It's very
Ooh.
easy. It was a very good baby
That's so
step into how
distinctive
you
to
do these
comprehend. I
games.
like that. Ooh. Yeah, yeah, that's great because I got, I was introduced to like the regular. My friend who was a DM was
Oh
like super
gosh.
into it. He knows everything and like anything about
Yeah, it's like I
tabletops.
think
He's
I
like,
tried
this is
one
how it goes.
group
This
and it
is.
was like some superhero based thing, but
Mhm.
there were so many skills and like the book was very thick, so it was like I have no clue what's going on. It was a little bit too overwhelming for me right off the bat, so I was just like I don't think I could do this. And then so this one was more, here's your character, here's like a list of like a tiny baby list of skills, just pick from it. It's just like, oh, craft or stealth, like that's pretty easy to read. Okay. I
Have
have
you ever played like
not.
Vampire the Masquerade? I've heard that one's pretty complicated. I mean, I read through the book. I was supposed to play it with my friend, but time was just like
Oh
not in
God.
my favor. But I read through the book and I was like, it's like 400 pages. I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't, it has to be less than 10. So I guess kind of jumping back into the art. Hello, new friend joining in. So
It
how
varied because I was
long
also
did like
balancing
the
this with a
art
full-time job, so
process
I
take
felt
you?
a little bit bad being kind of on the slow side. Um, think it was also
Oh
trying
wow.
to adjust to a new art program as well. Like this is like coming up. I started art right after
Hmm.
we had all those COVID lockdowns. So I had like just restarted going back to full time. I spent like the lockdown getting a new
Oh.
Cintiq, and I was like, oh, I've never had this before. So it's kind of like I think I started slow and then sped up as I got used to everything. Some designs came to me very quickly, like, oh yeah, I can, like looking at the descriptions, like
Hmm.
I have the perfect idea for what I'm given. Others were a bit more complicated. And then there were other characters who was like, oh, this one's really cool. I really want to make it look amazing. So those ones would take extra long time to be like, no, I gotta do this, gotta make them cool. Like our wonderful dragonborn that was just introduced, the white dragonborn, was like, I need to make this guy look really cool.
Yes.
The description was amazing, so I'm just like, oh, I
Oh,
have
he
to
does.
make
He
him look
looks
nice.
amazing. Um, so I guess when like with the descriptions, do you know like were how did the steps go? Do you know if it was like, okay, here's everything we've done with the D&D campaign, and
Uh,
then like now I'm going to give you descriptions? Like, do you know, I guess maybe like was it, I guess, hold on, I'm just trying to figure out how to word. So like to the D
yeah,
I'm
I'm
just wondering like,
assuming it
okay, yeah,
did.
the D&D,
Because I
the
had
whole
all the
campaign must have
cast of
happened
characters
first. Like
already,
recorded it and everything,
and I
and
had
then
like rough
we approach you,
descriptions
yeah.
of them. So very interesting to actually see the whole thing play out now because a character will be introduced and it's just like, oh, something happens to you, and I'll be just like on the edge of my seat, like I don't know what happens, but something happens, or like they'll come sooner than I
Something
expected them to
happened.
and be like, oh, you came really early, hello.
Oh, I know. I was like probably one of the most recent ones to watch it before it officially launched, and like
Yeah.
I was talking to a few. I don't remember Keith coming so early into the game. I really thought he was
Yeah,
going
he
to
can't
like
like
episode
yeah, I'm pretty
five,
sure it
but
was
I was like
one. Like he was just like
one, I
was in the
think.
bar or
I
something
think he
right there. I'm
just
like,
jumped
oh,
right
you
in.
came early. Hello.
Yeah,
Because I already knew
I
like
was like,
him and Matey
oh
were
no,
gonna
I
hit it off because that was
where'd
my
you come in
description
so
of them. And
early?
just like, ah,
And
that
I
they look
thought,
cute. I'll try to match them aesthetically, make it look like they would belong together, or like at least have a connection.
yes,
I
perfect. Yeah,
love
so we come up
it.
with a ship name, and
They're
of
so
course you'll wear
cute.
Keith. Oh my
Oh
gosh,
gosh.
I have to talk about Nightingale Switchblade because I love I
I
love
am
Nightingale
glad
so
you
much, and
like
the way
him.
you designed him was
And he
so
was one of the ones that had like
cute.
the unfortunate description where I knew what was going to happen, but I didn't know when or how. I just had that brief thing. So as soon as he popped, I'm like, oh no. Oh, like it's not ruining me. It's not ruining it for me at all. Just like the expectation's like,
Oh
oh
no,
no,
yeah,
this
something's gonna
something's
happen
gonna
again. Yeah,
happen with this child.
oh, I know. I just fell in love with
He
his
was one of the
design, and
first
then
ones I
like
drew.
episode two, Carmen.
Yeah, I think
I'm
Fee
still
was
salty
first.
about it.
He might have been
Oh,
like
really?
second or third. Like he was one of the first five because he comes in so early.
Yeah, I love that we can talk
I
about Fee
I
now because Fee's one of my
I am
favorites,
glad
and
he's showing up.
like
He's adorable.
I'm so happy that people know about him. I know, isn't he? I mean, especially in this episode, like he's like he obviously he's so powerful, but he's like so just not like intimidating or anything. Like when you think of an all
Very
powerful child,
positive, adorable energy.
it's just he's not what I would expect attitude wise. So he's adorable. I love him. um, do you have? Did you? So I guess this kind of branches into two questions. I guess first part is, did you have
There
a
was a lot of
favorite
designs
character
I was
that you
really happy
designed?
with. One is the white dragon that shows up just like, oh, you look really cool. Like, again, I was very happy. There's one that has yet to be revealed, but you'll know when you see it. That a lot of love and care went to one design. I was just like, man, I'm very happy with this one. I also do like the main four. They were extremely fun. I think I do tend to favor the more non-human ones. Like The bullhorns were great to design because it's like, oh man, I've never drawn this
Oh yeah.
before. This is gonna be great. I forget the guard's name, but he was also fun because it's just like, oh, I get to draw just a lizard. They're all things I haven't drawn before, so just like, oh, I have
Just a
no clue
lizard.
how to do this. This is gonna be great.
Wow. That's so impressive too, because you seriously did great, like with all of the NPCs and like the creatures and stuff too are my favorite design. I guess if I could steal one outfit, I feel like I don't think we've introduced the character's name yet, but they were at the end of episode 7.
Oh yeah,
We went through the
her.
whole thing, but she, like she's got the wings and the
Oh man,
horns. Yes,
she was one of the later ones
I
because
love
I
that
really
design.
like.
Like if I could
She
steal
had
a
a very
costume, I would steal that
like
one.
her description had her like as a
Yes.
very intimidating figure. I was like, oh, she sounds cool. I definitely want to do her justice too. So she went through a few iterations and a few different poses. I'm just like, I gotta get this right. I think I drew it on paper first. Is one of the few times I just like sketched it out when I was at work and it was like, oh, I'll just scan this in and fix it up. It worked.
Wow. Um, so I have artist friends, and I was just curious, like, what kind of program, like, I may not understand because I don't speak art, but what kind of program do you use to like
It's
create art?
computer.
Is this
It's
like
I
on
have
an
a
iPad?
Cintiq,
Is it on
a
like a
giant
computer?
Cintiq. That was like my one big investment, and it came just in time because that was right before I was asked about if I wanted to do this. So it's like,
Ooh.
oh, I get to definitely learn how this giant machine I just treated myself to works.
So that's
Yeah,
like that's like kind of like when you
yeah.
it's kind of
I
like
have
that big
like
screen
an
whenever you draw
actual
on them you see it
black
like on the big
tablet where you
screen.
can look at the screen
Okay.
and you're
Oh,
drawing.
fancy.
I'm a lot slower with that method. Like I could do it, but it's not as fun. Not as very slow. This like also I'm not sure if artists tell you, but they kind of have bad posture. So when you have like a flat Cintiq, you are bent over it. Whereas if my new one, I'm just like I have it propped up at an angle. So I'm like, okay, cool. I don't have to shrimp
Yes.
my body to draw art. I can actually sit like a proper human being.
Yes. Oh my gosh, yes. My friend, she's been an artist for like years, and she's finally starting to get to like off of paper because she can really do it on like she just did on like the notes app and iPad stuff. I'm like, dang, you're great.
It,
You should really
it's a learning
go for
curve.
programming. And she
My
just didn't
first
know she didn't know where to
tablet art
start
is
or what
very
to go
bad
to. So
because like
yeah,
you don't think of
100%.
like well first off you don't think about looking at a screen and drawing not where you're looking, so that's a learning curve in itself. Second, like you have to take into it has to read pen pressure, and that's not a default. You have to actually go into the program and set everything for you because the computer just doesn't know what it's doing.
Yeah.
um, I
Hmm.
like even when I had like the Cintiq, I had to adjust it to be like, all right, this is how hard I push my pencil. Please read this as this, just like all the adjustments. But once you get it set, it's very good and very quick. It's just that learning curve of trying to get everything set up from the 2D to 3D, or I keep saying 3D, but when you work in everything.
um, so I guess could you like walk us through like a day in your life of like what it was like? I mean, was it very time consuming making the art? Were you like at it like all the time? Did you find time to like kind of space
Yeah, it was
things out? So
2020,
like
so I
take us
think I
back
started
to
very
what was it,
slow
2020?
because 2020 was rough for everybody.
Yeah.
And unexpectedly, like I
Hmm.
work a call center job, which very easy. It doesn't like I have energy still after to do my art, which is why I like it. But because of COVID, the call center
Hmm.
job got like 100 times busier than I'd ever seen it before. So and it didn't let up. Like normally Christmas, it's dead. You get nobody around Christmas time. But no, like it was nonstop. I was always on the phone, like, well, this is new. So I had a little bit of that energy drain, then I come back to like, all right, time to work on characters. Um, I think a few of them did get spaced out as I needed a break because sometimes you just do hit a block and just like, okay, nothing I'm drawing is coming out good. Got to step away, take a breather. So
Oh
there was a
yeah.
lot of that. I think in the beginning I tried to focus on one character at a time, and by the end I was just like, okay, if I'm not feeling one character, I'll just hop to another one. And I found that's where I found a better flow. Just be like, all right, we'll just hop between a couple different ones.
Yeah.
Coloring was hard because I understand color theory, but it's not my strongest. I'm actually best at line work and shading. So it was an adjustment trying to figure out kind of figuring out colors and where my weaknesses were there. So yeah, there was just kind of like a lot of research whenever I got stuck. Be like, all right, let's figure this out. We're gonna power through.
Yeah. And I remember you saying something a little bit earlier into the conversation about just kind of starting art. Like, how long were you starting art before?
Been
Like,
an
were you
artist
starting
or
art
doing art
before the pandemic? Like, how
forever.
long did you say that you've been doing?
I can't remember when I started doing art. It's been that long where I've been drawing.
Oh wow, wow, that's amazing. I mean, that's so interesting because I feel like a lot of people were like, "Oh yeah, I kind of started, like a lot of people started stuff during the pandemic, and I mean, because I started voiceover during the pandemic, which led to me coming here and stuff like that. Have you ever just curious? Did you ever pick up anything different during the pandemic? Did you ever find like, like oh, this is something unexpected that I
Online store.
never thought that I would
I used the
try or
pandemic to
ever
actually
do
set up an
unless I was
Etsy.
stuck in
It's
my house.
currently closed because Etsy's changing a lot of things around.
Oh,
But for that moment, I set up Etsy and I actually put like a bunch of charms I made because
oh yeah, I've heard about
I had
that.
a friend who likes doing anime conventions and likes to invite me over to
Ooh.
specifically Florida conventions to sell charms. It's like, oh yeah, that's a fun thing for me to do. So I've made all these little Pokemon charms that I would sell at conventions, but 2020 closed all the conventions, so it's like, okay, let's try Etsy. So I learned about how to ship things everywhere because
Mm.
people really liked these Pokemon charms.
Oh, that's
I do not have
amazing. Oh my
Snorlax. I
gosh,
could make
I gotta see
Snorlax.
that.
I
If you have
because it fit.
Snorlax,
All the
you can
Pokemon are
have my wallet.
sleepy. Because when I was first designing them, I was very tired. I sometimes like not sure if it's the hypersomnia a little bit, just a tad bit where I am always tired. I'm working on fixing that, but it does mean like I can fall asleep anywhere, and I do get very tired very easily. So, as a joke, all the Pokemon are sleepy. So I just did like the evolutions first, because that's an easy batch of 6 there, just being very tired.
Oh, oh, that sounds adorable.
I have so many
I have a
keychains, and I'm
weakness
just like
for
I don't even have.
keychains, so don't get me
I have
started.
more keychains than I have places to put them.
Yeah, then I have places to put them. Yeah, so like I mean, I have like keychains, but there's like just a few in my drawer that I'm
Yeah.
like, okay, well I can switch them out because I only have like one set of keys. So, let me see. Do I have any other do I have any other artist questions? I don't think so, but I'll let you know if some pop up. But all right, folks, I'm gonna do a deep dive
Oh
into
boy.
episode 7, Parental Politics. So I know I mean. This episode was honestly a buttload of information because we left off with Wynn's father
Yep.
and finding out that that he's fine. He's with the rebellion. I mean, it's just like, oh, okay. I love that
That
we
was
can finally
a
talk
really
about
fun design. I
Mox
was not
now.
like
Those the
again,
turtle.
so going through the D&D things and being like, what are some of these races? And just be like, just a turtle. Like, that's the best thing I've ever seen. I get to just draw.
Am I here? Am I here?
Oh, there you go.
Darn
You are
it.
back.
Why? Okay. Yay. Am I back? Can y'all see me? Okay. Cool. um. Anyways, yes. I didn't even know like is the
It
turtle
popped up
like
in Pathfinder and
technically
D&D. Looking at both, kind of
a
like just popped
species?
up
I mean,
a
I
whole
don't know if
bunch
they
of
just kind of like put
races,
a
but that was definitely one that popped up when I looked it up. Like, oh, there's just a turtle.
There's turtle. Now I know my next character, you guys. When we were playing
I ended up
D&D
being a
again,
kobold.
I'm gonna be a turtle because that sounds adorable.
A very terrible kobold, but kobold.
It's all good. um, so we met Mox, and I mean, I love Mox
Hmm.
so much with all my heart because I love turtles. But then we find out that there's some other kind of sort of bad stuff, like plans to bring the humans back, which
There's
sounds
definitely a
good.
lot happening.
That equals zombies. So, this is, I can't remember how old the rest of the
Yeah,
group is. I know Arya is like 12, but that's like adult age for Eric Okrans. So, that's actually a really good question how old they are, because in the beginning of the episode,
yeah.
dad was kind of drunk and like, hey, yeah, kids, let's drink. So, I can't remember how old they are, but they're still. I don't even care if they're 40. This is too
There were,
much on their
yeah.
shoulders. Poor Glee. Poor Glee. um, but there is plans to. Oh, Churlish.
That was,
Churlish was
I love
another
the
one.
design,
Come
how
on,
that came
Virgil.
out. I was just like, oh, this
Amazing
is fun. There's
design.
another one
I
of the fun
love
characters. He
Churlish.
came later for sure. Just like, yeah, like he was in the
Yes.
more bottom of the list because I had,
Yeah,
like I said, I had a
he
whole
came
list
later.
of things I had to do. And yeah, he was just a very fun description. It was like, oh, again, another one of the fun races from just like, how do I draw this? How do I tackle this?
Yeah, how do I draw this? Like,
I
I
think it
can't
was
remember what
merfolk.
right
There was
what like
something
what
aquatic,
specifically like
like more like
Churlish is. It's like a fish.
yeah.
Yeah, some sort of like fish species. Yeah, but Churlish, I mean, as much as I love the
Oh,
design, I don't love Churlish the person. You gotta go. But apparently the father thinks the same way,
yep.
because they're like, all right, we're just gonna take out Churlish, just bye, goodbye. um, and then you find out the harder information that nobody's
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 coming.
coming
There's
to help
just the
them out.
whole
So
secret,
kind of
everything. Well, not secret.
kind
Like
of standing alone.
trying to think.
Just like the whole because I mean
Yeah,
technically he's
no,
keeping it a
no
secret
one's
about
helping
the
them.
fact that
They're
like
spying
there's nobody
secretly.
else.
The
Nobody else is
Mithra's
coming
got
alive, only you.
herself jailed and possibly future execution, which is just like, oh,
Yep. Mm-hmm. Which is a great cliffhanger, by the way. At least
oh
we know that
gosh.
Lynn doesn't come from a broken home, because that was the big question: broken rock or broken home. Well, I mean, technically, it's not a broken home, because now we know we learned
Yeah.
that Mithrika, Wynn's mom, is actually a double O
Was worried
spy,
about the parents
and
though. Just
this
like,
is
oh, that's
guarding
going to be
Wynn's
a
house.
very, very
But
awkward next meeting.
it's gonna be a little awkward. So technically, you guys still have to stay tuned to see if Wynn comes from a broken home, because Wynn's mom is maybe possibly going to get executed. So the outcome of that will
Hmm.
depend on the broken rock or broken home kind of thing. So stay tuned. But hey, speaking of that, I'm gonna 360 that and talk about the fact that we now know
Yeah.
that Fee is here. Well, the group now knows that Fee is here. Martin knew. Martin knew for a while. Yeah, and I love how Mylan tried hinting that as maybe really really helpful if Fee were here.
Just,
And Martin's like,
he's
yeah,
dead.
nope.
He's definitely
He's
dead.
gone. Oh well. Yep. Saw the shot burn to the ground. Yep.
Knowing that he's just
He's
in a
gone.
room
He's
chilling.
dead. He's totally dead. Yep. Just in Martin's room chilling.
Martin's a
Like, come on,
disaster. I
Martin.
love every moment.
Why the secrecy? I Martin is just such Martin. Martin's just Martin. Like, between him, I mean, I would
Oh
love
yeah, it's like
Martin
that's the perfect
because
hype
like
man
he's
for like
so
that
big on
date.
like power couples and everything. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
perfect hype man. I mean, also he literally has to spend money,
Oh, I would love to
and
get
I
money.
like getting money. So, just like, right? It's like, I have to spend this money because it's limitless. So here you go. I'm like, ooh, thank you. I mean, you got a pretty cool group. You got somebody that, like, money, like has to spend money so they never run out. They have the last human, which automatically kind of makes them better than all the other groups. And then you have Win, who's the mom friend, you know, keeps everybody sort of contained, even though that's hard
I
to,
relate a little bit
because
too
then
much
that
to
leaves
Win.
it over to Arya, who is very hard to contain. I don't know. I feel like I'm kind of like Arya, because Mallory is like, Arya has like 2 brain
I
cells.
feel like I'm
and
actually
like,
Arya, but I
that's
try to
me.
be Win.
I'm Arya.
Like, just going between the two.
Yeah, just like if there was a mix of like trying to be the mom friend and just Arya at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but if there's like a weird mix, that'd be me too.
Oh yeah, yeah.
We need a lot. We need a lot of people. Skip Glider was the captain's name. We need Skip Glider in here too. Yes, and we see Mady's parents again, because Mady's dad made a deal with the King of the Dead, because the King of the Dead wants Mady, because Mady's the last human. The King of the Dead doesn't want humans back. Like, not gonna happen. So he wants to get rid of the last human. And Mady's dad was like, no, that's my child. So they made a deal that they would fight for the King of the Dead in exchange for keeping Mady alive. Which
Lots of problems, but also
sweet, but like,
good parenting, wanting to keep their daughter safe.
Yeah, 10 out of 10 great parenting, but at the same time,
gosh, everyone's parents are just under fire right now.
Haven't kind of.
Yeah.
Well, let's see, because Wynn's parents are about to get executed. Well, Wynn's mom is, and then Mady's dad. Martin doesn't have parents. Poor Martin.
I'm not sure, but Keith's parents are died, so we're not really having a great parent track record.
Honestly.
Oh, and also I guess Faruna's also captive, so we have that as well. Parents are just not having a great time in this series.
Yep. Parents, I don't. This is a horrible theme for them. I would like to personally be Arya's parents, because they're probably sipping some drinks, having fun, you know, just completely unaware that, like, you know, Broken Rock is kind of in shambles right now. Stone Snar is like on fire. Everything's kind of sort of not going great. So so after we learn that tragic information, we run into this mysterious Dragonborn, the White Dragonborn that we have met before, and we are then introduced to this lady that I met before with the wings and the badass red outfit. So names haven't been revealed yet, but we're leaving off at a cliffhanger. There's a lot. I mean, at least the group knows that there's Fee, and
Spark.
With her old group. I believe they were called Spark. Yeah, Wynn's childhood group. And fingers crossed, because
there's a lot of things to manage.
Behind bars.
A lot of things happen in that 24 hours off of a boat.
We're putting the death in the Sovereign of Death. So stay tuned, folks. Cliffhanger as always. Well, it looks like we are out of time, but thank you so much, Samantha, for hopping on and talking with us, giving us a little bit of insight of what it was like making these amazing characters.
Yeah.
Are you open?
Yeah, I'm always happy to take artist projects. They're very fun for me.
Artist projects? All right. Well, there you go. All right. Awesome. Well, y'all know where to go to. So Samantha is here and ready for commissions. I might be hitting you up too, because I always like to commission artists. So thank you so much, Samantha. It was so nice chatting and getting to know you a little bit more. And thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Be sure to tune in to the next week's episode so we can talk about more cliffhangers.
Thank you for having me. Bye.
Thank you, Samantha.